1 in 9 of us is on an NHS waiting list in this country. 6 million people or more, huge numbers. And unfortunately, that number is going to keep going up. So we're doing all sorts of things to clear the COVID backlogs, and we're putting about £8 billion more into electives. As you know, we're hiring 50,000 more nurses, where we've got about 45,000 more people working in the NHS now than there were last year. And on top of that, we're now working with the NHS to set some tough targets so that we are able to deliver for patients and also for the taxpayer. Because, as you know, we're putting huge sums in.
This is a massive problem. We've got 6 million people on the waiting list. We desperately need a plan. The government said it was going to come up with a plan, and now it hasn't. And I think it's yet more evidence that the chaos and incompetence of particularly the last 3 or 4 months, where everybody's been embroiled in allegations about Partygate, there's a price for that, and the price is the government not getting on with the job. And here we are, when we need a plan, we haven't got one from the government. And many people on waiting lists will be really dismayed this morning.
Everybody at Number 10 and the Treasury are working together in harmony to deal with the big problems that the country faces. I think that what we're doing is working together across the whole of government to fix the COVID backlogs, which, believe me, is a massive priority for us, for everybody in the country. And,
no doubt about the Chancellor's
absolutely not. And what I would say is that it's thanks to the investment that we're able to put in, thanks to the sound management of the economy, everything that we did, if you think about it, all the looking after business throughout the pandemic, that's enabled our economy to bounce back so well, that in turn enables us to put the investment that we need now in the NHS. I think what people want is for the government to focus not on stuff going on at Westminster, but to focus on life, Carl, beyond Westminster, and to focus on the needs of the country. And that is what we are doing.
The longer this takes, the greater will be the waiting lists. And we've had people on waiting lists, not only during COVID, but before COVID we had waiting lists that were far too high. So the government's saying we need more time. It's not going to cut very much ice with those that are on the waiting list. You know, there's a price to be paid by a government that is distracted by all these allegations that are going on. And that price is being paid by the 6 million people who are waiting for their operations. I personally think that nothing will really change until the person at the top changes, because all routes really lead to the Prime Minister, and that's the change we really need to see now.
So what we're saying is we want the vast majority of people who think they may have cancer to have a diagnosis either confirming that they do or that they don't have cancer within 28 days. So we want 3 and 4 to have that. And we're also saying that by March of 23, by spring next year, we want nobody to be waiting more than 2 months. We've got to, and those are very tough targets. We've got to make sure that the NHS delivers them. To help us do that and to help the whole system, we're introducing today an advance called My Planned Care, which basically means that if you are due for an operation or any other treatment, and you look around and you can see that you could get that treatment, that operation faster at somewhere like this place, for instance, which has low waiting lists and does things fast, then you can take advantage of it and we can use patient choice to try to drive down waiting lists as well.